4 consecutive road games, 2-2 split, all things considered, where we've been, who we've been without. I would say, again, good, not great. And then pleased with the finish on Friday night and where we're at 6-3 overall. That being said, I don't think we're playing up to our capabilities. Maybe that's to be expected with the youth and what we lost and the leadership and the production from Lawrence Alexander. But also excited and encouraged that we are finding ways to win and battle down the stretch, in particular of a lot of games, a lot of road games, and coming out on top. And also encouraged with that, again, because I don't think we're playing great, plenty of room to get better. Questions?
Free throw shooting seemed to be a bit of a struggle on Friday night. Was that a product of the atmosphere, or was that a product of you guys?
It's always a great question. We're still, I just looked, we're still, after how poorly we shot it, we're still shooting, I believe, about 68%, which is not unbelievable, but it's not terrible either. And I think if you, as a team, you can get to 73. And so, I don't know. I mean, you practice them, and is it the environment? Is it, whatever? I know they're going up there not trying to miss any, and we'll continue to rep it out and build some confidence in practice, hopefully. And again, I think being on the road for 4 straight and different environment, all those things play into it.
How impressive was Kai on Friday night?
Extremely impressive and really happy for Kai. Nobody works harder at the game. Nobody wants to be great as bad as Kai does. He's in the first one in practice every day, lathered up in a sweat, and you could tell it was coming. It was close. He shoots it at a high level, in my opinion, in practice, and it was just a matter of, I think, seeing those first couple go through and gaining some confidence from there. And but it wasn't just the way he shot it. He was able to get by some people. He made some good decisions. I think the most impressive is his assist-to-turnover ratio for a true freshman.
Coach, question kind of twofold. Do you look at Friday night and say it's a game where we grew up a little bit? And if yes, how nice is it to be able to grow up in a game and still get a win?
Yeah, you heard some of the comments from their coach and their media up there. That was probably the best environment that they've had in the Betty. And as poorly as we played, to be down 15 and respond, it shows a lot of moxie, a lot of grit from a young group to go up there and do what we did in the second half in particular. So really encouraging. At the same time, we've got to figure some things out earlier, urgency. And I say earlier, you look at other games, Iowa State, we were great to start. Illinois, we were great. I think it's just a youth and immaturity. Maybe it's an excuse. It's my job to just get them ready and prepared from start to finish. But the exciting part about it is we're teaching on a platform off of wins. In 6-3 with this group, all things considered, I think is a pretty decent spot to be in.
Did you know Kai had that kind of range before Friday night, or did that even surprise you?
No, like I said, you see it. You see it in practice. What was impressive for me was the stage he did it on the road, and you're against your rival. Our backs are against the wall, but that's also exciting for a true freshman. That being his 9th game into it, he had some struggles to be mentally tough, to be locked in and focused. Again, very pleased.
What went into the decision to have Dylan start on Friday, and is that something we can see moving forward?
Yeah, I think you'll see that. Very encouraged with the way Dylan's playing. We feel like it's been a strength of ours all along that we're a little bit deeper than we were in the past. We've already had 7 guys be in double figures, and Dylan was at 8 at Southern Miss in only 9 minutes. And then I also think a couple things. Chris, I wouldn't say is 100%. And also bringing Chris off the bench is back to his role 2 years ago, which I think we're all probably more comfortable. He was forced into that 5 spot last year, and he did a tremendous job. But him coming in and playing some minutes at the 4 allows us to get AJ off the court a little bit. And I say that he played 39 minutes at UND, but in a normal game with foul trouble and those things, which I think is important over the long haul, that's a lot to ask AJ to play. And Corey's a guy that the motor he plays with, he's going to be in some foul trouble, he needs some breaks, and so I think it was a combination of the 3 things. Yeah, very encouraged where Dylan's at as a true freshman, rotation-wise, and then Chris' overall health.
What concerns you about Montana State?
Their 2 guards are exceptional right now. Tyler Hall, a true freshman, and Marcus Colbert are playing at a high level, and you can see the disparity from them, their 2 scoring, and then it's a drop. But also, you watch them against Wyoming, and they go small and kind of a little bit like we did at UND, and they can stretch you out, spread you out, and that's always a tough guard. And then defensively, they're throwing a whole bunch of different things at you. Last night, they throw in a little full three-quarter court, half-court trap, mix in some man, some matchup zone, and that's always tough. But again, hopefully, especially this time of year, it's about us and getting better in another opportunity Wednesday night.
Defending them, do you have to go man on man, or is that a team defense? Those two guards that you mentioned.
Yeah, I think our identity would be man-to-man. That being said, we've played some zone at times. We sprinkled it in a little bit at Arkansas State. If that's something that we need to go to change the flow of the game, if we're struggling guarding the ball or we're just struggling, period, there's some different adjustments that we have. But our preference would always be to tee it up eyeball to eyeball, man-to-man.
Malik seemed to be a little bit more aggressive, not settling as much for his jump shot. Is that something you guys talked to him about, or just something he took upon himself?
Yeah, and along with Kai, and I should have mentioned this earlier, very pleased with those two young men. I think our culture is, in a very good place. We feel very good about it, and those two guys were kind of easy targets for myself and all of our guys, as they're the two coming in and playing considerable minutes. And so I, in particular, have been very hard on them, especially go back to last Wednesday in practice. But they responded, and that's why you try to do those things as a coach, is put some stress, put some pressure, put some intensity into them in some practice situations, and so they can go out and deliver in games and rivalry games on the road like they did Friday. And as good as Kai was, I was very, very pleased with Malik. Made some big shots, made some big plays, but also, like Chris said, he's a guy that we've been preaching to about just being in a stance. And it seems so simple, but it's not, especially the minutes he was playing without Corey. And so maybe able to back his minutes down, him understanding where his points were coming, where they weren't coming. All those things, went into it, but very, very pleased and encouraged, that how those two responded in a big stage.
Coach, I think we knew the Summit League was going to be good, but the way some of the teams have been playing, has it been ramped up a little bit?
Yeah, there's no question. I think Jeff had said, our RPI is 10th in the country, which is, I think I remember at 12. I don't ever remember at 10, which is a credit to the scheduling and the coaches and and most importantly, the kids being able to. If you look at a lot of these games, we're probably on the road against high majors, and we've been able to compete and be successful in it, which is encouraging. In full honesty, I haven't had a chance to see a lot of those teams. You're so locked in on our group, and we playing games so rapidly, but it's also exciting. That's there's no question still in my mind. South Dakota State is the cream of the crop. I've seen Oral Roberts' scores; they're playing well. But what you also got is the Western Illinois, the South Dakotas, the Denvers that maybe weren't picked as high that are playing very well. I think just IUPUI has a losing record in our league right now, and that's pretty remarkable for a mid-major program, mid-major conference, so to speak, this early in the season, where games are being played and who they're getting played against.